I agree with some others, that some parts could be written intentionally to deceive people. Therefore I have chosen certain parts only, but I recommend that you read all of the protocols, which can be easily found on the internet. The idea of freedom is impossible of realization, because no one knows how to use it with moderation. He who wishes to rule must have recourse, both to cunning and to make-believe. Great national qualities, like frankness and honesty, are vices in politics, for they bring down rulers from their thrones more effectively and more certainly than the most powerful enemy. Such qualities must be the attributes of the kingdoms of the Goyim, but we must in no wise be guided by them. Our right lies in force. Let us, however, in our plans, direct our attention not so much to what is good and moral, as to what is necessary and useful. The intellectuals of the Goyim will puff themselves up with their knowledge, and without any logical verification of them will put into effect all the information available from science, which our agenture specialists have cunningly pieced together for the purpose of educating their minds in the direction we want. Through the press we have gained the power to influence while remaining ourselves in the shade. Thanks to the press we have got the gold in our hands, notwithstanding that we have had to gather it out of the oceans of blood and tears. But it has paid us, though we have sacrificed many of our people. To this end we have stirred up every form of enterprise, we have armed all parties. Remember the French Revolution, to which it was we who gave the name of great. The secrets of its preparations are well known to us, for it was wholly the work of our hands. Ever since that time we have been leading the peoples from one disenchantment to another. Who and what is in a position to overthrow an invisible force? And this is precisely what our force is. Gentile masonry blindly serves as a screen for us and our objects, but the plan of action of our force, even its very abiding place, remains for the whole people an unknown mystery. And our kingdom will be distinguished by a despotism and fair harshness of such magnificent proportions, as to be at any moment, and in every place in a position to wipe out any Goyim, who oppose us by deed or word. Moreover, the art of directing masses and individuals by means of cleverly manipulated theory and verbiage, use of unnecessary words, which also wastes time by regulations of life in common and all sorts of other quirks, and all which the Goyim understand nothing, belongs likewise to the specialists of our administrative brain. We have set one against another the personal and national reckonings of the Goyim, religious and race hatreds, which we have fostered into a huge growth in the course of the past 20 centuries. Were genius in the opposite camp, it would still struggle against us. Capital, if it is to cooperate untrammeled, must be free to establish a monopoly of industry and trade. This is already being put in execution by an unseen hand in all quarters of the world. This freedom will give political force to those engaged in industry, and that will help to oppress the people. We shall assume to ourselves the liberal physiognomy of all parties, of all directions, and we shall give that physiognomy a voice and orators, who will speak so much, that they will exhaust the patience of their hearers, and produce an abhorrence of oratory. In order to put public opinion into our hands we must bring it into a state of bewilderment by giving expression from all sides to so many contradictory opinions, and for such length of time, as will suffice to make the Goyim lose their heads in the labyrinth, and come to see that the best thing is to have no opinion of any kind in matters political, which it is not given to the public to understand, because they are understood only by him who guides the public. This is the first secret. The second secret requisite for the success of our government is comprised in the following: to multiply to such an extent national failings, habits, passions, conditions of civil life, that it will be impossible for anyone to know where he is in the resulting chaos, so that the people in consequence will fail to understand one another. This measure will also serve us in another way, namely, to sow discord in all parties, to dislocate all collective forces, which are still unwilling to submit to us, and to discourage any kind of personal initiative, which might in any degree hinder our affair. The aristocracy of the goyim as a political force is dead. We need not take it into account, but as landed proprietors they can still be harmful to us from the fact that they are self-sufficing in the resources upon which they live. The principal factor of success in the political is the secrecy of its undertakings. The word should not agree with the deed.